What is going on, everyone? It's been a pretty cold, long winter. Not much fishing has been done, so I was going through some things, getting my gear organized. Got about a month and a half, 2 months till fishing season starts again. And a question that I get asked a lot is, what is my favorite lure for the Northeast? Just in general, not species specific. And as you can see here by my assortment, is the bucktail, the real deer hair bucktail. It is probably the most versatile lure that you can use in the Northeast. Not just for striped bass, but for striped bass in particular. It is my favorite lure to use. So this isn't even all of them. I have a ton more laying around. I have always brand new ones ready to go in case, I don't know, the hooks. I don't have the time to sharpen the hooks. These are ones I pull out of my plug bags in my kayak that they're dulling out, or sometimes they're getting like kind of dark. The hair gets dark. All these here, they have like the dark hair as compared to like a shiny brand new white one, which I prefer to use. The brighter the better, especially when they're brand new out of the package. They just tend to catch fish a little bit more, I think. These darker faded ones, they're going to catch fish, with any sort of trailer on them, a curly tail or a pork rind, or sometimes I like to use a nice 6-inch sluggo or 4.5-inch as a trailer. They'll catch fish. They'll catch bluefish. They'll still catch anything. But I feel like I get more hits on the brighter white colored ones when they're almost like brand new out of the package. So, but these darker ones, I don't throw out. I'll cut the threads off, and I'll retime. If the hooks are good, why waste the jig head? Especially these bigger lead heads. They tend to be a little bit more expensive. And like I said, if I have time, and I used to do a lot of that in the beginning when I first started fishing in my late teens, early 20s, and I didn't have a lot of money to just keep buying bucktails, so I used to just retie them all the time. Buy a couple deer hairs and a little fly tying vise, and you're all set. But now I just kind of buy a lot of them at flea markets when I find good sales online, a couple deals. These things are getting expensive now. I think so. These say like $4.89, and I'm pretty sure they're more like $6 now. I've probably had these for a couple of years sitting on the rack here, and it's a lure that you need a little bit of a learning curve to fish with, and you need to kind of carry multiple different sizes. So let's take this one for example. This is like an eighth of an ounce bucktail, really small. Okay, but I'll use anywhere from this, an eighth of an ounce, to, I don't know, let's say, well, I don't use these Spros in the surf too much. This is mostly a boat thing, but that's a 4-ounce Spro. But for the surf, to give you an example, that's like a 2-ounce, okay? So anything in between an eighth of an ounce, quarter of an ounce, to 2 ounces, up to 3 ounces, at the jetties, at the inlets, ripping current. So, this is like a 1 ounce. You really have to kind of experiment and fish the area on different tide stages, different currents, different moon phases. And, everybody always asks, well, what size bucktail do you use? And like I just said, there is no right size. It's whatever right size for your particular situation. Like, I could be fishing, for example, I could tell you that I'm fishing a bridge and I need a 2-ounce bucktail, right? To get kind of to the bottom where you're just barely bouncing the bottom and you're hitting fish here and there. The next day, you can go to that same bridge, same tide stage, same current, and you're throwing this and you're not getting any fish, but you can hear fish on the surface. So what do you do in that situation? Instead of getting under them all the time where they're not really seeing this, there have been plenty of days where that same bridge where I was using a 2-ounce the day before, I switched over to a 3/8 ounce bucktail, dense hair, so it floats on top. Sometimes no trailer, sometimes a trailer. And I just get fish. So you have to adapt to your situation. Just because everyone fishes a 2-ounce bucktail at that bridge all the time, doesn't mean the fish are always going to be hiding along the hovering along the bottom like they usually are. Sometimes they'll be on top, and in the surf sometimes, guys are like, oh, what in the surf's not that deep. It's like 5 to 8 feet usually you're fishing, and you're trying to reach out to a bar or a cut, so you're using anywhere. Usually the size of bucktails I use in the surf is pretty much anywhere from 3/8 of an ounce to a 1 ounce tops in the surf, unless I have a really, really big sweep, and then maybe I need like push it to 1.5 ounces, or if I need to reach like a bar on the outside where the fish are, I'll punch something out there, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, and real fast, and try to get it in the zone quickly. But there are a lot of times where these fish are in 2 to 3 feet of water at the surf lip, and your 1/2 ounce, your 3/4, it's still too heavy for the surf. So you could drop down to like 1/8 of an ounce, something super tiny like this, and just, even with your big 10-foot surf rod, and just kind of try to really just give it like a 20-foot cast and just float it as close to the surface as you can, right through that lip at your feet, and you're going to get fish. So that's my little short take on bucktails. It just got a little bit more complicated than that. You can go with types of heads, bullet head, round head, eyes, no eyes, what kind of trailers, sluggo, pork rind, curly tail, otter tail. It's just the possibilities with these things are endless. And they're not just limited to striped bass. They catch weak fish really well. I think, let me see if I have it. Oh yeah, was one of my go-to weak fish bucktails last year and last couple of years. It was just like a pink 4-inch bass assassin on the back of a probably this is like a 3/8 to a 1/2 ounce bullhead bucktail, a little chartreuse on top. And this is like the only color that was annihilating weak fish when really almost nothing else worked. So, and sometimes it's these little pink spros will really get the weak fish going. Bluefish will hit, if there's bluefish around, they will hit these, guaranteed. Fluke, a lot of times you get a lot of fluke, and you're not even targeting them. They're gonna hit bucktails. My biggest fluke from the surf was an 8-pounder, and it actually came on a bucktail with this is a 6-inch sluggo, so it was a little heavier bucktail. I was fishing a bridge, and let me see if I have that here. I don't have the one with the larger. I just had it. Anyway, it was the bucktail with a 7.5-inch sluggo on the back. Huge profile. I got an 8-pound fluke at a bridge like that. The season was over. It was late October, and it was a South Shore bridge. And you just never know, man. The bucktail, they just work. They're gonna catch anything in the water in the Northeast. I've had Spanish mackerel on the bucktail, bonita. Never got an albie on a bucktail, but I don't have them here, just bucktails kind of tied like spearing, okay? Like something like this, where I'm just jigging them fast. And I know guys that use stuff like this for albies. So you just never know. You really never know. I hope that helps you guys out. I know a lot of people aren't confident in the bucktail, but what I tell people all the time is just fill a pouch with bucktails. Take a freaking handful of these things, right? Just bring this in all different sizes. A couple different trailers, curly tail, sluggo, pork rinds, otter tails, and just get out there and fish them. Fish them hard, fish them slow, fish them fast, jig them. Just get a feel for it. And once you get a hit, remember what you did. See what the fish wants. And that's it. Yeah, just catch them up, man. Hopefully I'll see you out on the water soon. I'll try to get a couple more videos up on maybe some tackle or gear or tips or cooking. So we'll see. It's been a long winter, and I hope to see you guys out there soon. Thanks for watching.